Revelation 4301. From the 16th of May 1948. Many are called, few are chosen. Let yourselves be counted among my disciples whom I train for their last activity on this earth. Again I choose fighters for myself, I choose disciples for myself to whom I can proclaim my gospel so that they will carry it out into the world. The end time has dawned. The time of harvest is coming, and much work is still to be done which I entrust to my disciples, to those who follow me and allow themselves to be taught by me of their own free will. These disciples of the end time have the same mission as my first disciples, whom I chose myself according to their inner value, that is, whom I recognized as willing and able to love, and to whom I was therefore also able to send my Spirit, which continued to instruct them when I no longer lived on this earth. Every person is capable of love, but whether he is willing to love is determined by himself. The ability to love is my gift, the willingness to love is his merit. And thus many are called but only a few are chosen. These words of mine are to be understood as I have explained them, that all people are able if only they want to, but that the willing are also the chosen ones whom I shower with grace. Nothing else shall my words mean, and never that I only grant grace to a few to belong to my own, while I deny it to the others. All people are called but not the devil's servants, for since I gave everyone the ability to develop love within himself, everyone can also shape himself into a receptacle for the Spirit, and thus he is also chosen, yet this shaping of his soul is the work of free will. And if he does not use his ability to love, his soul will never change and be suitable as a receptacle for the Spirit. Then he certainly belongs to the called but not to the chosen, then not my will but only his will is decisive, then he is not a disciple of mine, he does not follow me and is not suitable for work at the end of time. What could you humans accomplish if you used your abilities properly? My first disciples were full of the Spirit when they went out into the world, they all developed their ability to love, they were all devoted to me and followed my will in everything, and I chose them, I assigned their activity to them, I sent them out into the world so that they should report what they had partly received from me on earth and partly received from my Spirit. And they carried out my mission and taught. They conveyed the pure truth to people, for their pure, loving nature prevented every misconception and misinterpretation. And as long as they spoke, my teaching was pure and unadulterated. But it did not remain so, for people who came after them and in whom my Spirit was not yet able to take effect presumed to have the same teaching authority, and the pure teaching was disfigured. The disciples of the end time are chosen by me again and are bearers of the pure truth according to their willingness to love. They, too, are to pass on the unadulterated truth to people and must therefore be enlightened by my Spirit if they want to carry out their teaching ministry for people's blessing. The willingness to love makes them suitable disciples, whereas the ability to love does not yet guarantee their suitability for the teaching ministry. In order to be able to teach, they must first call knowledge their own. But the transmission of this knowledge is the result of a life of love without compulsion. You are all called, but who shapes himself in such a way that I can choose him, that I can pour out my Spirit upon him, which guarantees purest truth. But I bless my disciples of the last days, for I only dwell with them in spirit, whereas my first disciples constantly had me close to them. Whereas I was constantly present to them and consequently it had to be easier for them to believe in me than for the disciples of the last days, who have to awaken faith in me within themselves and let it grow and who therefore find it far more difficult to believe and accept every word as truth. However, I will constantly stand by their side, even if not physically, yet I will always stay with them in spirit until the end. For I myself have chosen them because I have recognized them and have known all about their willingness to love since eternity. Amen.